Views and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. I'm murderous. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como yé. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas, and also by radio, 105.3 FM, The Beat, or as my Haitian brothers are being taught, 105.5 FM, Batla. Well, my name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, today is Ash Wednesday. I'm a member of the local Catholic community. There is an international breaking news taking place in Broward County, where the Broward County Sheriff's Office in Florida is reporting a school shooting. So that is what is taking place in the state of Florida, which is 50 miles off the coast of the nearest island in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Bimini. But the top breaking news here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas took place in the Parliament. Today, opposition leader Philip Brave Davis laid before the Parliament a 64-page indictment, political indictment and condemnation of Nassau Village Member of Parliament and the Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly, Halston Moultrie. And it was dynamic. A Negro female journalist, when asked by Freedom March to describe the leader's contribution, she said it was dynamic, it was specific, it was condemnating. He conducted himself as a scholar, a gentleman, and one of Her Majesty's Queen's Counsel. That is how she described the leader of the opposition in this country. And the leader of the opposition, having laid the charges against the Speaker, he must now offer a defense. For if he fail to provide a defense and answer the charges, well, he shall be declared a pro-confessor. A pro-confessor. And meanwhile, the counter-revolutionary members of the governing Free National Movement came with a counter-motion in support of this disgraceful Speaker, Halston Moultrie. There's so much things on my mind, but I'm distracted over the fact that my producer cut off my clock. But we have it here, 64 pages. My God, this has to be lodged for record so that future generation will read what Philip Brave Davis had to say. I have it, and I'm going to read a lot of it. This is Freedom March The Speaker is on the run, and Philip Brave Davis is after him. I'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV Studios in Nassau, Bahamas. And of course, we are also broadcasting live on our powerful radio station, 105.3 The Beat, or 105.5. No, that's .3. Goodness me. Let me try it again. Tout le monde haïtien, pas de moi, parce que I'm excited là. Because na parliament aujourd'hui, leader responsable pour opposition bat Mr. Speaker. So, I welcome you to 105.3 FM Batla, or 105.3 FM. We're broadcasting live not only on TV, but also on the radio and on Facebook and on the internet. So it's a super radio and TV station. The top news, however, is today. The official opposition in the Bahamas returned to the Parliament after the Speaker, the Honorable David Halston Moultrie, made a faux pas. He made a bad step when he just turned crazy. You know, you all say I'm crazy, but the Speaker was much more crazy than me, as he suspended the entire opposition. And in 289 years of parliamentary democracy, which was introduced to the Bahamas in 1729, we've never had this before. But today, the leader of the opposition, supported by his parliamentary team, boldly entered the parliament. And when the opportunity arose, the leader of the opposition stood. And as I told you earlier, a Negro female journalist described his performance as dynamic, specific, and that he went straight to the point as he laid a 64-page condemnation indictment against the Speaker. Well, this is how he began it. This is Philip Brave Davis, the leader of the opposition in this country. Today, we bring the case of Halston Moultrie before this parliament and ask the House to condemn his behavior for the following acts. Count 1, a statement made to the House on the 7th of February in response. 2, we do not know what. Count 2, the unlawful, wrongful, capricious, arbitrary, and disproportionate suspension, oh hallelujah, of the Member of Parliament for Angliston on the 31st of January. Count 3, the willful, malicious, and personal attacks on private citizens in his statement of the 7th of February in the House. Count 4, attacking the staff of the House of Assembly. Count 5, disgracing the role and reputation of the office of the Speaker of the House. The reasons for bringing this resolution of condemnation, says Philip Brave Davis, and censure, in a sense, are more significant than the acts which led up to the events today. The primary reason is that the Speaker has descended into the fray into the mud pit, and by doing so has irretrievably damaged the role of the Speaker as we understand it in our parliamentary democracy, says Philip Davis. He is the enforcer of the rules. To do so, he must be impartial, but more importantly, seen to be impartial. His responses cannot be personal. They must be dispassionate. The Speaker is very much like a judge. In fact, the position is quasi-judicial. He is the protector of the rights and privileges of the House, often described as ancient rights and privileges. You will recall that when the House of Assembly opens at the start of the session, as Her Majesty's representative comes to the House, the door is closed in the face of that representative, and the representative must knock on the door and be granted entrance by the Speaker. The Speaker is the first commoner of the land. He defends the rights of members. He should not oppress members. The record will show that what the Speaker did in this instance was to compromise those fundamental aspects of his role. This makes his continuation in the role untenable. Some have said, Philip Davis told the Parliament this morning, looking at the math which faces us, that this is an impossible hurdle for the opposition to climb. That may be so on the plane of mathematics. However, this is not about mathematics. I remind the House that we fight on a higher plane in some matters. There ought to be a consensus and agreement on how we conduct our affairs. That social construct has been destroyed and broken by the actions of this Speaker and ought to be condemned for doing so. This is also not a personal matter of forgiveness, as the Speaker seems to feel. Instead of being silent, having committed these grave offenses against public order and decency, he did not have the good sense to be quiet, but instead has doubled down to the point of intransigence and says he would do it again. How does he expect that going forward? Without one act of contrition, his position can be tenable. It is in fact the opposite, as he himself admitted in a Tribune article of the 9th of February that operations of the institution, the House, will be affected moving forward as a result of what he said. It is profoundly untenable no matter the math. Whether we win this vote or not, his head is forever covered in shame. He is deluged in iniquity. He has the mark of Cain on him. There will be a cloud over his brow in perpetuity. The ethical, moral high ground in this matter is that personal attacks are reprehensible, not allowed. Philip Davis told the House of Assembly this morning that the Speaker is not allowed to descend into the mud pit. He must remain calm and above the fray. The record will show that he did not do that. On the 7th of February, the Speaker delivered a statement to the House. In that statement, he called for the suspension of our colleague, the member for Angleton. The calling of the suspension was to correct an error in the procedure of the House, the act of causing the member to be named and suspended in the first instance for 2 days was wrong according to the rules. The rules required a motion to be made and carried for a member to be suspended. That motion to be moved by the leader of the House, or in his absence, the member acting for him. Look at 88, subsection 10. The member must have committed any of the specified offenses set in Rule 88, subsection 4. The member may be named, and in naming the member must be informed of what offense is being committed. The Speaker then invites the motion, and after the motion is made, it is then put forthwith to be voted upon. See Rule 88, subsection 4. The disingenuous meaning given to forthwith as it pertains to Rule 88 is revealed upon a proper conjugation of the sentence in which it appears and the context in which it is used. Forthwith is irrelevant until there is a motion. No motion was made before the Speaker capriciously suspended the member of Angleton. The majority then stepped in to protect that wrongdoing by supporting that act of wrongdoing by the Speaker, with no less a person than the Prime Minister compounding the travesty by calling the member for Angleton dishonorable in her conduct. We must not forget how it all started. It started because the member for Angleton was standing up for the rights of 2 women fired by the government for political reason. Her profound belief and, oh hallelujah, she stood by that belief. The Speaker was supposed to protect her right to free speech. He did not. Instead, he sided with the majority and struck the matter from the record. After that, he was factus officio. After that, the Speaker became factus officio. Then he went further and created a situation of double jeopardy and sentenced the MP from Angleton a second time by suspending her for 2 days. His actions were replete with procedural errors. This is the indictment against the Speaker. The Speaker is supposed to allow and protect the privilege of the right of access to the House. He did not. Instead, he prevented, by his orders, Mrs. Hannah Martin from returning to the House on Wednesday, 7th February. That is the second violation of a privilege. What is worse, however, is that the Speaker compounded the issue not only in the vote which he called 4 wrongly, in our view, but he ignored the minority again when we asked to present the facts to show him the error of his ways. The Speaker refused to recognize me, Philip Brave Davis is saying, and the record would reflect that immediately following the roll call of members, I stood to be recognized. The Speaker refused to recognize me. I stood to speak to the absence of the member of Angliston and to seek to bring civility and sobriety to chaos caused by the actions of the Speaker in naming and suspending her contrary to the rules. To demonstrate the error of his ways, I remain standing to be recognized, but he proceeded to recognize the leader of government business. Instead, the member for Bamboo Town. There was no doubt who rose first to speak. I should have been recognized and heard. Rule 8 of the 74 rules specifically speaks to the fact that the member rising first should be heard. This is also provided for in Rule 33, subsection 3 of the 2005 rules. The Speaker has no discretion as to whether to recognize me or not. Once a member rises, Philip Brave Davis says, he has to be heard unless 2 rises at the same time. On this occasion, the Speaker fell into error again and thereafter acted in a capricious and arbitrary manner by suspending me and the other 2 members of the opposition because we were walking out of the chambers. So the flip side of the coin of egress to the House is ingress. And he violated yet another of the fundamental principles by suspending us arbitrarily. Mr. Chairman, it got worse from there. The Speaker then piled on with invective from the protection of the chair, attacking private citizen, a member in that other place. Attack members. I'll be right back as Philip Brave Davis veiled the Speaker backside, laying a 64-page condemnation.
This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Well, we had a technical glitch. Every time I'm doing good works, the F&M just interfere with the signals in the sky.
Don't blame that on...
I want them to stop it.
A political party in the Bahamas, man. These are technical things, and these things happen.
Anyway, let me welcome you to Freedom.
Thank you, Mr. Monker, and I'm listening on my way here to the studio. I was listening to you.
How we sound on radio?
Well, it sounds good.
Really?
I'm listening to you read this...
the speech
that the leader of the opposition gave in the House today.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you and you're reading it with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm. What's happening, man?
Well, what is happening here is deep here in the studio. We have a number of sophisticated Negro journalists. And the first female Negro journalist that I ran into, I said to her, listen, I'm heading into the studio. And the leader of the opposition delivered a wonderful speech. Tell me, what did you see? Give me the adjective. And I was shocked. She said, listen, he was specific. He was dynamic.
Yeah.
He was to the point, she said. And as she did that, for every time she gave me an adjective, my heart jumped. You see, the politics affects me biologically.
Okay.
And when she began to describe the leader's speech, how well prepared, how disciplined, how Queen's Counsel orientated it was. Politics normally have a biological. My heart began to beat.
Okay.
And I began to breathe harder and harder. And my muscles, right? I mean, as that woman described the speech, and politics is very exciting when the politician is able to have a biological effect on the people down. And you know, my head ball. But here, raise on my head.
But let me not take away from your
This
momentum,
is true.
you know. But it seems as if, to me, the speech is well put together, well thought of, well planned.
Well, don't forget who this is now. This is the incoming Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis.
Are you prophesying?
He is Queen's Counsel.
Are you prophesying?
And every time he went to the election court, he put a bumsuki on them.
But you said something just now, the incoming prime minister.
yeah.
Are you foretelling something
Listen,
about to happen in the future?
I see things. I see things and so forth. So let me go back. Because it is important that this speech be placed in the annals of Freedom March. So that 100 years from today, those who shall be doing political science can see and hear the speech. I was telling you how the leader of the opposition in this country, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, this morning in the Parliament, laid a 64-page condemnation indictment against the Speaker, David Halston Moultrie, who has gone contrary to the Westminster system of government. And we have had a parliamentary democracy in the Bahamas from 1729. And this is the first speaker who just lost his way. He got mad. He just cursed at everybody. Cursed out your wife. He cursed out your senator. And then he cursed you out. And then the speaker says, and you are suspended for 2 days. It was like, you know, it's like if he was, I don't know what. And so the leader of the opposition has returned with the support of the nation behind him. Every civilized citizen of the Bahamas has raised up in condemnation against the speaker. And so the test will be, does the speaker has any shame? Or is he one of the two Dugans? Dugan the fish or Dugan the donkey? I don't know. But the leader of the opposition said to the chairman of the session this morning is the Honorable Donald Saunders. He's the deputy speaker. But since the charges are being levied against the speaker, you can't let the speaker preside over it. Because the English has a rule that you cannot be a judge in your own cause. See, they know I know them things. See, they know I know them things. And so, if I know that the speaker cannot be a judge in his own cause, Philip Brave Davis, who lectures in law, he would know that even better than me. So Don Saunders, he is presiding. He's the chairman. And Philip Brave Davis told the chairman and the honorable members of the House of Assembly, and it went like this. He said, Mr. Chairman, it got voice from there. The speaker then piled on with invective. Now, Joe Blacks, when I read these big words, you tell people I smart. Invective mean cursing, okay? Gotta let Joe Black know it. He's my boy. And whenever he see me reading things on TV, he always stroke my ego. So Joe Blacks, when you hear me say that Mr. Davis said the speaker was using invective, that's like 5-pound notes. Okay? That's what he was doing. So, the leader of the opposition has revealed that from the chair where the speaker is protected, he began to attack private citizen, a member in that other place, by him saying the other place, that's what you call the Senate. Because the House of Assembly is never to call the Senate name in the House. And the Senate is never to call the House of Assembly name in the Senate. So they say in the other place. That's the same way when you go to jail. You're not allowed to say the member in jail. I'll think about what word you say. And so, the leader presented the case. And here is what he says that the speaker said about a former chief clerk, Maurice Tynes, who's been a distinguished clerk, recognized around the Commonwealth. You hear me? I thought that the retired clerk, this is what the speaker is saying, I thought that the retired clerk was my friend. I remember when I was in third-party politics as leader of the Bahamian Freedom Alliance. The retired clerk would call me all the time and provide me with material to attack the Ingram administration. I thought that he was championing the cause of good governance and democracy. But alas, he was only trying to help the PLP, as he seemed to be doing today, while also attacking the acting and hopefully soon to be confirmed Clerk of Parliament. I had the opportunity, this is what the speaker said, working with the apparently troubled former clerk from May 24, 2017 through August 31st, 2017. And I can say at this time, thank God for attrition. Imagine trusting, working, and relying on the advice of someone who has now publicly expressed his innermost feelings and the kind of political venom directed at the speaker in the letter to the editor. Thank you very much, Mr. Retired Clerk, and may your soul rest in peace. Let me stop for a second. That's wicked. That's wicked. When we say let your soul rest in peace, that is said because you are now dead. My God, Mr. Speaker, in the politics, we don't have to wish death on one another. We could curse at one another. But we ain't got to say that I don't want Maurice to die. Come on. That's very offensive, but rest in peace. Stop it, eh? Stop it. Let Maurice Tynes live until God calls him. But without you, with your underhand talk, that's wickedness. That's obeah. That's wicked. I don't want to distract from the leader of the opposition speech, but it just upset me. And here, Philip Davis said, is what he said about me and my wife. My God. I cried shame on the member for Cat Island, Rum Key, and San Salvador. Ordinarily, I would not respond to such nonsense, but the honorable member, and I wish that he was still present so I could address him directly. He has provoked the chair and forced the chair to defend my integrity. This is what the speaker is saying about Philip Brave Davis. And then he goes on further. While I can give you more than 90 reasons why the member for Cat Island, Rum Key, and San Salvador's allegation is absolutely absurd, I shall confine my response to the fact that I'm married to a beautiful and wonderfully made Bintang woman. And I want to emphasize to the member that my wife is an indigenous Bahamian woman, and that I have had over those 38 years no reason for divorce. Here is what he said about the member from the other place, meaning the Senate. And this is Philip Brave Davis quoting the Speaker. The member has allowed, in my estimation, probates and perverts with track records of denying and hating women to insert such a ludicrous assertion into his press release. My name might begin with an M, but the first three letters are M-O-U, moo, and not MIT, M-I-T. Don't mix me up. Philip Brave Davis is quoting the Speaker. I am not, the Speaker says, I am not a soft powder, goodness of mercy, puff man. I am a real man. In each quotation, there appears to be some personal and misdirected animus. Each of those persons deserved an unqualified apology and withdrawal of the words. In the case of the attacks on private citizens and the member from that other place, attorneys are exploring the use of a constitutional remedy to seek redress against the Speaker for the attacks. In the case of the member for Angliston, the House should, by resolution, reverse the actions of the Speaker. It is a blot on her record which must be removed. Philip Brave Davis told the Parliament this morning, and the remedy and response on a whim and fancy of the member for Exuma and Rugged Island is clearly disproportionate. The Speaker used a hammer when a fly swat would have done the work. In fact, he needed to take no action at all, since a member has the freedom to leave the chamber. The Speaker could not have known whether members wanted a bathroom break, for example, and the only rules dealing with when a member may leave the chamber is when the Speaker is putting a question. Rule 32, subsection 2. So it is impossible. So it is possible, let me quote the Leader of the Opposition correctly, so it is possible that for going to the restroom, the member was suspended. A member who has been in this place for only 9 months and is amongst the mildest mannered and agreeable of members. The Speaker, he's talking about Halston Moultrie, has whimsically and capriciously and injudiciously ruined his reputation. The same can be said for the member for South Andres, who said and did nothing on that day to have warranted that slap at his reputation by the whimsical, arbitrary, capricious, and injudicious actions by the Speaker. So notwithstanding the matter, today we seek to make a cogent and airtight case for the removal of this Speaker. He cannot be allowed to continue. If he were a man of some grace, he would have stepped down on Monday. The country expects him to do the right thing. The side opposite was faced with this ethical dilemma before. And in the face of that, Sidney Colley, as Minister for Local Government, now Ambassador Sidney Colley, did the right thing and resigned. You heard what the leader said. That was a much lesser offense than the grave personal assaults in which the Speaker has engaged. The problem is exacerbated by the fact that the members opposite, instead of suspending the House when the Speaker, determined to go down this vile personal track, enjoyed what the Speaker was doing and supported it. They reveled in it. They supported it, even though the Speaker cast aspersions on some of them with homophobic slurs, meaning Scythian slurs, attacks on divorced people, an attack on those with foreign wives. The government of the people's time bang on the table and laugh and joke as the Speaker engaged in homophobic slurs, in attacks on a member's wife and personal family affairs, on the reputation of the House staff, and in seeking to mount a defense, made a most egregious attack on a retried public servant. One member went so far to give comfort and aid to wife beating through her clumsy language. Yet the Speaker now says to the press, instead of being quiet, that all is forgiven and we can move on. No, sir, we cannot move on. What you have done is unpardonable and inexcusable. You have embarrassed, debased, and desecrated the office of Speaker. The majority should not protect or cloak you in your error and buffoonery. They should assist you in finding the exit. That is the right thing to do. This is not about mathematics. This is about the right thing to do. It is about voting with your conscience today, not against it. Will you vote to keep a man in office who has so desecrated the office? It is on a day like this I wish we were not compelled by the straight jacket of our party system. This is not about PLP and FNM. This is about the right thing to do. Those who know me know that I always advocate for the pursuit of things that makes for peace. And this I did. Had the government hearkened to a voice of reason, oh hallelujah, we will not be where we are today. I obtained the transcript of the proceedings. I noted that Angliston was right, that the Speaker had misquoted her, casting an unfavorable light on her. The Speaker, Philip Brave Davis, said, quote, appears, oh hallelujah, appears to be his interpretation of what she said, rather than the exact words said, even though he attributed exact words to her. The question that would have arisen then was whether it was a reasonable interpretation. The discourse never got there. This is why I intervened at the time I did, hoping to right the debate. My intervention commenced at the point where the Speaker was at the height of his broadside of Angliston, which I was pointing out to be unfair. He took umbrage to this and ordered that I take my seat and continue the broadside, ignoring my intervention by the opposition, ignoring any intervention by the opposition. Philip Brave Davis said, we left the chamber then, and he named and suspended her. At the next sitting of the House, Angliston accompanied the rest of our parliamentary team She was told by the sergeant at arms that he was instructed by the Speaker to prevent her entry. In pursuit of peace, I met with leaders of government businesses for at least 2 hours to determine a solution to avoid further chaos. I gave him the transcript, pointing out that it appears to be a matter of interpretation. Once that matter was resolved, everything else should fall away. I opined that Martin was telling the Speaker that she had the right not to withdraw, and he the power to expunge. And if this was correct, then it was all a complete misunderstanding. He was amenable to my suggestion and promised that he would arrange a tripartite meeting with the Speaker to discuss a resolution. That was Monday. I waited that Monday afternoon until after 6 p.m. and got no call. I then spoke to the Attorney General, reiterating my thoughts and recounting my meeting with Wells, who is the leader of government business in the House of Assembly. He's talking about Renwick Wells. He undertook. This is Carl Bettel, the Attorney General, Philip Brave Davis is talking about. Carl Bettel undertook to speak to Wells and to get back to me. I never heard from him. On Tuesday, not hearing from either the Attorney General or the government leader in the House, I called the Prime Minister shortly before 10. I reiterated my conversation with them, and he, the Prime Minister, said they will get back to me. Next, I heard on Tuesday evening, by way of text message, received from the leader of the opposition business in the House, this is Freedom March. I'll be right back to finish filing this in Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
In a homophobic society, he went on to say how the Speaker then attempted to cast serious aspersion upon his wife. It is a sad day in the country, and so the opposition has said that the Speaker added homophobia and xenophobia to his rant, and he said he is a real man, not a soft powder puff man, and accused Davis of allowing reprobates and perverts who deny and hate women to insert ludicrous allegation into his press statement. So that is what is taking place. And you would recall that after I heard the Speaker talking about who putting powder puff on their face, I accused the Speaker of watching man. And I said to the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, would you please stop liking man? All right? And I still have about $250. Anybody who can draw a picture of the Speaker's indigenous wife wearing an indigenous costume. I was thinking about that. And if you have already drawn the wife, you submit it. But perhaps we should draw the Speaker as an Arawak Indian wearing his indigenous costume. So my spiritual advisor, these are some of the things that were taking place. I just decided, when I heard what the leader of the opposition had to say, I was so incensed that a big black macho man like the Speaker could be so unkind. Just unkind. Calling people sissy. Talking about man, wife. It's almost as if he want the leader of the opposition to punch him down. And that would not be a proper example. Leave people's wife alone. Anyway, Hubert Ingraham, the former Prime Minister, was so annoyed by it that he authorized me on national radio and TV. I don't know how Papa know we was going to have radio. Right? But Papa know things. And Papa said, must go on the radio and TV and apologize for what to Mrs. Brave Davis. And I continue to do it. So Mrs. Brave Davis, wherever you are, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram is upset. And he does not want to be associated with those personal attacks upon you, upon Philip Brave Davis, and upon the other members of the opposition in the House, including Senator Fred Mitchell. Papa told me all kinds of things. But one of the things that Papa told me, he's very upset with Brent Simonet. Yeah. Brent Simonet, what are you doing? Papa says that as it relates to immigration, he doesn't like what you're doing because he has sat with you and you know what philosophically is the right way to deal with illegal immigration. Papa is very disappointed, Brent. You hear me? You wouldn't want me to run on. Papa does not like what you're doing. And Papa has told me that the Haitian people who were able to vote, Haitians, Bahamians of Haitian descent, Papa said they voted F&M. And he say what Brent Simonet is doing, he's going to cause young Bahamians of Haitian descent to go back to the PLP. That's what Papa told me. Papa don't like what he's saying. And when Papa started talking that, I turned to Papa, because Papa know little Creole. And I said, Papa, I let everybody know that me and you are Haitian. And Papa bust out laugh. He doesn't like what Brent has to say. I haven't bought my notes because Papa said I mustn't misquote him and I mustn't lie on him. But I want Brent Simonet to know that Papa is displeased. And now, I may have said to Papa, Papa, now I understand why Branwell McCartney, when he was deputy to Brent, used to go out with the immigration to catch Haitian. You hear me? Papa ain't pleased. And from what Papa has to say to me, Papa's given me license to criticize Brent Simonet. Brent, you better stop it. Because as Papa complained, I said to Papa, man, Papa, Brent is a Negro. Papa, Brent is just like the rest of them Negroes. I told Papa that. And he's very upset. It's a bunch of things Papa said to me, but I had to run out today and I bring some of them notes. But Papa is displeased. You hear me? He said, you want to know what this is Brent doing? I said, Papa, you don't think it's Carl got Brent doing these things? And Papa could suck his teeth? Goodness me. My spiritual advisor. I've heard no man who can suck their teeth as hard as Papa.
In disgust.
Yeah. He's very disappointed. Huh? He just went around the corner. And the next thing you know, the F&M is doing up all kind of nonsense. Got the man upset. Can't enjoy his retirement. Because all kind of people is coming to Papa complaining.
Complaining, eh?
Yeah. Minutes do something wrong, they go to Papa. Brent start expelling the Haitian them unlawfully, they go to Papa. You hear me?
And Papa did fire Brent in his administration, right?
Yeah, Papa had to fire Brent. Brent, it's like if Brent ain't lying.
Well, he was rehired, so let's see if he, learned from there of his mistakes.
But Papa's not pleased with it. All right? Papa's not pleased. And Papa started talking about land to me. Now I see today that Minnis is giving us misinformation. Have you seen the Nassau Guardian? Where Minnis wants to sell a lot for $30,000. Minnis, that's too expensive. If you are serious about empowering the people, the lot should be no more than between $5,000 and $8,000. What kind of $30,000? By the time you pay off the $30,000 mortgage, when the heck the people can build? All this land we got.
Well, the heading says less than 30, so you need to figure out what is the correct figure.
Well, have you read the article, my spiritual advisor?
No.
Well, I've read the article.
Okay, so
and having read the article, Menace once again talk with forked tongue.
Okay, so
he does not give us sufficient information.
Okay.
You follow my point?
So what range? What are we looking at? It says less than 30.
Look, if Menace is serious, he would say exactly what the land will cost.
Okay.
Right? But he gives no information. He's pussy footing. All right? Meanwhile, the people at the container port, Menace then give them between 14 and 16 acres of land. And I want to know how much they pay. We got to get away from this. If we're going to empower the people, you give the people a price that they can afford. $30,000 is too much. Meanwhile, the friends of Brent Simonet is trying to get the government in Exuma to reduce real property tax. Huh? Real property tax. I know an old man must be between 75 and 80. And he struggled with his wife and all his children to build a house. And the next thing we know, Inland Revenue show up and tell the man, this house is more valuable than we for success.
Okay.
Man never paid real property tax. Now the man is old. Menace them got people. You know they came to me yesterday?
Really?
Yeah. They came to my office. They say, we see a sign out here and we want to know if you charge anything. So I said, who y'all is? They say, we are from Inland Revenue. And as they were talking to me, a Negro woman showed up. And she wanted me to do a little something for her. I said, honey, you see these people here? They want to know if I charging you. I think I can have to charge you. So I said to them, listen, I don't have nothing to discuss on Freedom March today. So hold on for a second. Let me go and get my notepad. And as I got my notepad, they break off run down the road. Because I start off by asking the Negro woman, what's your name? Who sent you to come to me? Huh? And then I wanted to show my bum out car. Menace, leave me alone, you know. Because the law required me to submit a public disclosure and I can't find nobody to give it to. Nobody. Never say nothing like this in all my life. Y'all can cost me the case. And that's a sin. And I don't know who in the church is watch this, because I believe everybody in the church has watched me. And I don't want sin. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello. Hello once.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. Speak up loudly. Raise your voice.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, and you, Mr. Manker?
Well, what's on your mind, my love?
When you go on break,
Yes.
the producer don't put you off. You still just be on TV. You have to let him know that you just be on the TV when you go time for break.
Okay, I can let them know because I could be in the back of your cousin or...
That's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the next thing you know, my wife think I ain't saved. But I thank you and for telling that to me, and I want you to have a happy Valentine.
You too.
Okay?
You are spiritual advisor.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
talking about Valentine, well, I want to wish a happy wedding anniversary to Mrs. Judy Stirrup Roll and her husband, Solomon Roll. I think y'all are celebrating 48 years. So, happy anniversary. And just in case you have a birthday, because you know I'm getting old now, happy birthday. And you tell Solomon Roll that I'm coming to the 48th wedding anniversary. I'm coming to it, okay? Yes. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello, hello. You better take me to another caller because the leader of government business, my spiritual advisor, in the House of Assembly.
That's Renwood Wells?
He's a born-again Christian. You hear me? And he's also married to a white American woman. You hear me? And he stood right there in the house. And today he moved a counter resolution to say that the House of Assembly repose confidence in that speaker. Renwood, you ain't safe. I'm beginning to have second doubts about you. Renwood Wells, you cannot be safe. My God, you have one of the greatest women out of America. A whole white woman. All your children is white now. And you let the speaker attack man, wife. The Bahamian man has a right to bring his wife home. And Renwood, you stood there. Now you move a motion. But thank God that Bishop Frederick McAlpine is standing up for what is right. He's beginning to veil the F&M backside again. Brother McAlpine, between you and Renwood Wells, I must confess you are more safe than Renwood Wells. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Monk. How you doing?
Listen, I'm right here struggling with this wicked F&M.
And good evening to Spiritual Advisor.
Yes, good evening. How you doing?
Great show. Love your show.
Good.
It's good to have you on radio as well.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Monk.
Yes.
My thing is, I heard you say the speaker were unable to be in the house today.
No, he could not sit and chair it. All right? He would have gone out of the house because he happens to be a weak-kneed, 6 feet, 8, apologetic Negro. Okay?
Yes, and now saying because of what he say now, there is an action for every reaction.
Yes.
And I think today the speaker needed to be in the house today, Mr. Monk. He needed to be there to get that tongue lashing.
Yeah.
Because Brave and Miss Martin, they put it on him today. He should have been there to hear it.
Don't say they put it on him. Say they veil his backside.
Yeah. My Grammy, that's a good tongue lashing.
Yes.
They give him.
Yeah.
In the near future, he would know how to speak and how to handle things in the House of Assembly. And he needs to be fair, whether there's PLP or FNN. He needs to be fair because that's what he's there for.
You are so right, my love.
And Brave, let him know if you don't understand the rules of the House, like you say, ask your fellow comrades, like they's called Papa. You could go ask Papa, or you could ask Mr. Frank Watson.
I don't know if Papa
They
will
will
say him.
teach you the rules of the House in case you don't know. You just been there for 9 months.
You're right. I thank
Hello?
you. I thank you for your
So
contribution.
he should have been there to get that good tongue lashing.
Yeah.
That's just good for him. Serve him right.
Yeah. He ain't safe. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Speak to me.
Yeah, Mr. Manka.
Sir.
I wanted to send a birthday request to my grandson.
Go right ahead, comrade.
My grandson is C.J. McKinsey, Garden Hills.
Yes.
Birthday request. The day is his birthday, coming from his granddaddy, Tips Bain and Miriam Bain.
Listen. What is his name?
C.J. McKinsey.
C.J. McKinsey, you must see my ma family, because my ma told me all that McKinsey is her family, especially if you're from Exuma. So happy birthday to you, and you are a gifted young man. You're born on a day of love. Happy birthday.
Thanks a lot.
Do well, my brother. And then, of course, I have to also give a birthday, help me find that notice where I have to give a birthday to, shout out to a wonderful woman who married a Carrie. All right. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Yes.
Speak to
What's
me.
up?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Listen, I'm here wrestling with a big speaker who is very uncouth. I mean, he cursing people's wife, and the woman ain't doing him nothing. He calling people sissy. He talking about who putting powder on their face. You know?
Yes, and Mr. Manco.
I thought he was safe.
Mr. Manco.
Yes.
The Speaker of the Commonwealth of the Bahama Land
Yes.
said he was a police officer.
He was the police?
Yes, he did the investigation.
Okay.
He did the prosecution.
Wow.
And now he did the sentence.
Oh, Jesus.
That is unjust.
Very unjust.
Right. And the people of the Bahamas agree with him.
Yeah.
The Parliament of the Bahamas agree with him.
Well, Renwood Wells, who was trained. What is the name of the man who had the church, the glass church in the U.S.?
I know.
The white man in America.
Which state is that?
I don't know the state, but he got I'm told that this church make out of glass.
Oh, well, I don't know who that is.
Anyway.
Mr. Mongo.
Listen.
Joel Osteen?
No.
No, okay.
We have to pray for Renwood.
T.D. Jakes?
No. It's a white man. TJ's a
Oh,
Negro.
sorry. Okay.
Listen, I got some other people, but you're on the right tracks.
That's my MP.
Who's your MP?
Renwood Wells.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
You better have a talk with him.
But I just saying, I saw somebody with decency and order today, Mr. Montcalm.
Who was that?
Chester I. Cooper.
Really? What did he say?
Decency. Because that's what we trying to get in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Decency and order.
Yeah.
Spiritual advisor.
Hey.
Pray for the Speaker.
Absolutely.
Need help.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to throw a bucket of holy water on him.
Good water.
Yeah. Take it
All
here.
right, Mr. Montcalm.
So well.
Take care. You and the Speaker.
Okay.
Right.
Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello. Well, you better take me to another caller. Other than that, let me wish a happy birthday and happy Valentine's Day to Mrs. Latoya Carey. And we salute Mr. Edward Johnson of South Beach. Mr. Johnson, look, happy Valentine's to you. You say I don't discriminate. Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Yes, hello. Well, I'm not hearing the person. One more time. Hello. Okay. Anybody else on the phone? Yeah. Well, you heard what took place. The leader of the opposition even will Mrs. Miriam Emanuel, her backside. And you know she's a prophetess. But the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, when I met with him on Sunday, we were having a wonderful mug of green tea. Papa said to me, whatever happened, I need you to save Mother Miriam. Save Mother Miriam. Emmanuel. I said, Papa, you want me to save her?
What is his interest in that, though?
Papa? Mm-hmm. I don't ask Papa Satan
You
questions.
should have. You just can't go around doing something or taking his instructions without finding from him the reason why he would want you to do that. What is
Well, I'm
his
telling
interest?
you, Papa
What is his interest in saving her?
Papa say, whatever happened, you heard me? He said, now listen here. When you go back to Sabat STEM TV station and radio station, save Mother Miriam.
Save her from what?
And I said to him, Papa, no matter how they attack her, I promise you, I'm going to hold on to that woman and save her.
Save her from what?
Okay? From fire and brimstone.
You can't do that.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
I'm Mr. Montgomery.
Rachel, my love.
I'm your spiritual advisor.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
The name of the person with the glass.
That's Robert Schuller?
Schuller.
Okay.
No. Well, it ain't Robert Schuller.
Yeah, Robert Schuller?
It's
Yes, it is Robert Schuller.
No. You have given me the correct answer. I'm saying that then that is not the person who trained Renwood Wells.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's another Holy Ghost white man in America, right? Yeah, I think he has a big church.
Okay.
Is it Oral Roberts? I thank you for calling. I think the man named Oral Roberts.
Okay, Manka.
God bless you, eh? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. I got to remember Reverend Oral Roberts. I can write Reverend Oral Roberts and
Hello.
complain. Hello?
Hello.
Who's this? Welcome to Freedom March.
Yes.
Okay? This ain't...
I'd like for you to send a happy birthday to my sister, please.
What's her name? What's her name?
Deidre Roll.
Deidre is your sister? Deidre, happy birthday. Her birthday's today? Yeah?
Yes?
But listen, tell Deidre I just love people who are born on Valentine's Day. Happy birthday, okay?
Okay.
You take good care, my love.
All right, thank you.
All right. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, good day, Mr. Monka. How are you doing?
I am fine. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm doing great. I just wanted to tell you about a caller you have calling you all the time, talking about how great and magnificent the F&M is doing with their job in Grand Bahama.
Is that true?
Definitely no.
Are you on the island of Grand Bahama?
Yes, I am.
Well, don't leave. I'm going to go to a break. All right? The time the F&M take clowning in the Honorable House, they should go and fix Grand Bahama. Can't wait for the people of Grand Bahama to vote all y'all out, which in the main self. This is Freedom March. I'll be back to finish my party, the F&M. Papa, I can help Mother Miriam Emmanuel today. All right.
Something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Casting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Well, I went on Candia Dame's page where she informed us that at about midday, the Member of Parliament for Bamboo Town, Renwood Wells, would have amended the resolution of Opposition Leader Philip Brave Davis to read, my words, that the F&M or the Parliament had confidence in this speaker. And if you had seen Candia newspaper this morning, she also viciously attacked the speaker. She called him a picture of disgrace. Go behind the camera. And so that is extremely exciting. And she called Minister a hypocrite. And then she accuses Mother Miriam of backward thinking. Well, I want Candia to know. Hubert Ingram, Candia, and you know, me and you is wait for Papa. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Mr. Ingram told you. But on Sunday, he said to me, whatever happens, save prophetess. What's her name?
Miriam Emmanuel.
Miriam Emmanuel. And Papa, I will assure you that I'm going to save her from Candia. All right? Because I got a bombshell to drop on Candia. Candia, one more time, leave Mother Miriam alone. Because the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram on Sunday has asked me to protect her. And I came with my bomb sucky. But I won't drop it today. I'll drop it tomorrow if God spare my life. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Get some text, my spiritual advisor. Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Munker.
Yes.
And spiritual advisor.
Hi, good evening.
I wish you both a happy Valentine's Day.
We thank you.
Thank you.
Sirs, I would be most grateful if you would wish Dr. Carolyn Hanna.
Dr. Carolyn Hanna.
My educational mentor.
Uh-huh.
A blessed birthday.
Okay.
And a happy Valentine's Day.
I shall do that quickly. Dr. Carolyn Hanna, we wish you a happy birthday and a blessed Valentine Day. This is powerful. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello?
Sir, you're back.
Yeah, Mr. Monica, I was talking about the caller who always call you, who you sometimes believe is Travis calling. Yeah, he
You're talking
is
about
selling lies.
You're talking about the man called Precious.
About how good, magnificent.
Are you talking about the male who identify himself as Precious?
Yeah.
How can you accuse Precious of lying when you're in Freeport and Precious is somewhere in the back of Bain Town?
Well, he's calling your show telling you these accusations about what the F&M is doing.
Okay. Okay.
But none of it is to be true. But I had the chance to visit Nassau last week.
Okay.
What I've seen is a lot of garbage because, especially on Bay Street, when you go in to the driving down to the House of Assembly,
yes,
the road, and then you have a lot of the buildings, they need to be revitalized.
It is terrible.
What I really want to know is what exactly is the government doing, and why are so many people getting into political conflict when there's nothing to actually get in conflict for?
Okay.
I mean, if I was living in Nassau, I wouldn't have voted. I mean, a lot of persons are saying that.
Well, you vote in Freeport. Listen, I got your point. The producer's saying that the line is full. I ain't trying to run you. You know, you could always call me because I love the people of Freeport, okay? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Monica.
Good evening, my love.
Good evening, spiritual advisor.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I just was listening to the House of Assembly.
Yes.
Most all of them voted the man in. What did Raymond? What did name?
Renwood Bells.
No.
They voted to return Hudson Moultrie, yeah.
Yes.
The speaker.
Yeah.
You mean tell me they voted for him?
Well, the PLP motion is
the
defeated.
majority of vote.
Yes.
They voted him back in because I just hear it.
Yeah, 26 of them voted for him.
Yes.
1 abstained, 7 was absent, and 4 voted against him.
See if you could find out, Mama, who all was absent.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Find out who are missing.
Okay, then.
All right?
Okay, bye-bye.
They might be the saved members. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor, read text.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will defend Miriam. Hubert Ingram has asked me to defend her. And we do that tomorrow if God spare our life. Because Papa said no matter what she has done, we are to defend her. And I said to Papa, I'm going to defend this prophetess. Go ahead.
Mr. Monica, could you please send all the PLPs back to their party? They are pretenders. They are pretending to be F&Ms. That's why there's so much confusion.
That's why the F&M won.
They are carrying hate on their hearts because they were not given any space in the PLP party to run. That's from top to bottom. A pleasant good afternoon to you, Mr. Monica, and your spiritual advisor. I want to send a happy birthday shout-out to Suzanne Valerie Philippa Rogers Hepburn.
Wow.
Today, may God continue to bless, guide, and protect you, and continue to give you all the aspirations you need.
This is powerful.
This is coming from you, from your brethren, Mr. Shantis Hall.
Okay. This is powerful.
Yeah.
Well, you got your shout-out, my love, from Shantis Hall. More text, my spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Advisor. Can you ask Mr. Monica to send a birthday shout-out to Susan Demerit, please? She is one of the women them from a favorite niece.
Susan
Demerit.
Demerit. You're one of the woman them. And listen, I thank you for rejecting gender equality and not listening to these unsaved women. Because tomorrow night, I am speaking at the Cavanas and I will show those honorable members how this is one big lie. I got the evidence. I'm going to bust it loose. But you know, the newspaper ain't free now. But they ain't for surprise. Sabbath's got radio and TV news. So who ain't want carrot? I'll take my news to Sabbath's them. Go ahead, my spiritual.
Good afternoon all. I was really hoping that someone from the F&M side would stand up for the right of the House. Thank God. Frederick McAlpine had been that person.
Yes.
Hope some more of you, your colleagues, would stand up for the truth. Keep on standing for Bahamian people, not party. We need righteous people in the House Assembly. Mr. Wells should thank God for the PLP who made him who he is today.
Well, Candia Dames, even though she's not a saved woman, on her Facebook page she wrote, breaking news, McAlpine says the people are disappointed in the F&M after the government brought a counter resolution to the House of Assembly today, expressing a vote of confidence in House Speaker Halson Moultrie and declaring Moultrie has restored honor and respect to the House since his election. Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine today declared, same move, different cast, a suggestion that the FNM is behaving no differently than the PLP behaved in office. McAlpine urged the government to write an entirely different script, suggesting it should not be like the PLP. The people of the Bahamas wish for us to elevate our speech and behavior in this place. McAlpine told his colleagues, noting that he was frustrated by his observations of House proceedings last week, when Parliament came to, quote, an all-time low, end quote. McAlpine said, while the people are mad with the current opposition, they are highly disappointed in the FNM's performance or the lack thereof. On this Valentine's Day, he called for a spirit of reconciliation. Listen, Pastor McAlpine, I'm now convinced that all those people who came to me and told me that you were not saved, they're not saved. You are a saved man. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Say hold, I'm holding for Mr. Monker.
Well, speak to me. This is Mr. Monker here. Don't you know your leader's voice?
Oh, I hear you talking.
Okay. And you're one of the women there?
I am one of the women there.
Well, your leader is here, and I want to thank you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
let me tell you, I'm listening to you by radio. Now
Really?
you go low with that F&M, because I'm a F&M.
I know you're an F&M.
Long Island.
You're in Long Island? What kind? You're in Long Island. Okay. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor. That's Long Island, and you know what they say with Long Island people.
Happy.
Go ahead.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Monker.
Hi, thank you.
Can you please help me? I own a straw vendor booth in Port Lucaya in Freeport, and we're being told that we must work in the shop ourselves, or they're going to close us down. The thing is, we had to seek employment in addition to having our stalls, because we don't have any tourists in Freeport, and we are not making any money. These
Wow.
people are trying to take everything away from us, Mr. Monker. Do you know who can help us? Because Port Lucaya owners say the government cannot help us.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when I go to have breakfast with Papa, again this Sunday, if he don't go away, I'll raise that with Papa. Because, you know, minister ain't checking for Grand Bahama. Y'all already played your part. Y'all kicked the PLP out, and look what you got. Huh? Damn fool. You married a big black boy. You married the Golan. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monker, good afternoon. How you doing? Please, you need to stop hanging up on the Conky Joe man, please. He is one of the most saved callers you have. I am not any man's property, and no man will ever own me. Please bring him on the show as a guest. Wow.
Listen, I love Conky Joe people, but that Conky Joe man don't sound safe. Take it from me. Go ahead.
Let's see here, Mr. Monker. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Mr. Monker.
I thank you.
Is the MP...
Is the MP what?
You know what? Anyhow.
No dirty words.
No. Is
All right.
the MP of Southern Shores, Frankie X, involved in this? Frankie X has been noticeably silent since his citizenship came under fire. Frankie X, who has failed to provide proof of his Bahamian citizenship. The Campbell clan from Cat Island has no history of Frankie and their family history. Some are of the opinion that Frankie X has stolen the name Campbell to...
No. I'll read that. Frankie Campbell has not stolen the name. Frankie Daddy. He worked on the Campbell's plantation, and he took the name. All right? I know what the story is. So if your daddy say Campbell, well, that's it. But the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram told me that Frankie affidavit is bogus and fraudulent. That's one of the reasons why Mr. Ingram was criticizing Brent Simmons, but I ain't discussed it yet. Because Papa is very concerned of what Brent is doing. Because Papa said that Brent knew what the rule of law is. Papa told me. All right? But I ain't say nothing yet. I'm waiting to catch Brent off guard. Then I can drop what Papa say. Because Papa don't like what is happening. Papa says that the FNM is going to cause the public treasury to be broken. Because they're not following the law. And they know better. You hear me? Boy, you'll be surprised to know what Mr. Ingram is telling me. And then he's putting me up to say it. I said, Papa, what if they beat me up? Papa said, you don't want nobody to do me nothing. All right? Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's a pleasure listening to you, but on numerous occasions, Mr. Monica, I have to tone down the set because we live in the Bahamas and you're often using this Creole language. You're going to lose a lot of your viewers if you continue that part. Bahamians are fed up enough, with the foreigners as it is, Mr. Monica. Ms. Rule, continue in the right path. You know how the average Bahamian feels about this. Don't let yourself down. Mr. Monica, stop. Your show is Freedom March and not Foreign March. Before you don't have no march. Bahamians are sick of these Haitians.
I want you to stop that because Papa loves the Haitian people. Papa wants me to be fair to them. He's telling me things, And let me tell you something. Papa is brushing up on his Haitian Creole. I told Papa how Sir Orville Turnquest asked me how Papa became a Haitian.
Good day, Mr. Monica, and your spiritual advisor. Happy Valentine's Day. Roses are red, violets are blue. Some people may not have a Valentine, but remember, Jesus loves you.
Amen. That is very poetic. More text, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monica, y'all have a new producer or something, eh? Because this thing is not going the way it used to be.
We're training. Don't forget now, Sabas has created, I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal these things, but I was peeping through one room and he seems to have a big studio and a bunch of people who are getting jobs and they're being trained. Only thing, they're training on me, So that's what's going on here. So we have to train the people and little things will happen because work is being created. And I used to lead a workers' party. And my motto has always been that everybody must work and we should declare it a criminal offense when people don't work. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good evening, Mr. Mark. Can you tell us what is going on in Freeport, Grand Bahama? We see planes spraying the sky.
Really?
I think that's the second time I've heard.
Planes are...
something of that nature. I don't know what's going on.
They're flitting.
Could be.
They could be flitting. All right? They could be flitting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica. Do you remember Dr. Menace saying that he was going to run a transparent government? Is that transparent? What does the word transparent mean?
All I know,
we don't see it.
If Candia continue to attack Menace, Marvin Dames is going to be forced to say some things. I'll tell you all tomorrow what Marvin may have to say. All right? Because Menace is getting tired. But Menace, I want you to leave Candy alone unless you sit down with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. Candy will attack from the rear guard, and I shall be attacking from the front guard.
Wow, interesting. Mr. Monica.
Yes?
We paying these politicians to go to the House of Assembly, and they're acting like mere animals. They haven't been setting any good example at all, Mr. Monica. Did the Prime Minister say anything about what was going on in the House, Mr. Monica? Did he mention the Speaker? Some of that nature. So, Mr. Senator, you see the video circulating around with the PM running out the back door from the farmers. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know if he ever had a philosophy for agriculture. All right? Don't forget what it requires. Agriculture requires a philosophy. You have to provide land, and you have to provide the various assistance. And I don't know. All right? I don't know. When it comes to the Negro leadership, they fail to realize the importance of agricultural production. They seem to be more interested in other things, but agriculture is crucial. Don't forget, when the Bahamas became independent, the United States gave us about $40 million and a bunch of huge cow, big cow. But I'll leave that for today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Monka. Do you know anything about Dwight and Bristol being terminated by the Minister of Tourism? It's a sad day in the Bahamas.
Next.
Just give
Next, my spiritual advisor.
Hello, Mr. Monka. That is the lady who used to be in the post office selling the soup. I need to talk to you. You understand the text?
Okay. I'm open up to the woman then as leader. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. at the National Workers Credit Union, I've been invited by the Cavanas to speak on marital rape. And I shall defend the man them, and I will show how the United Nations is intellectually dishonest, supported by some Negro woman who's only looking for work. I will show it. Hello, welcome to Freedom Match.
Mr. Monka.
Sir.
Didn't I tell you 2 weeks ago that Mr. Mutri has to apologize for his action?
But he did not.
Yes, sir.
What did he say?
He just apologized to the opposition.
What did he say?
And to the country.
Well, I don't want no apology from him. You ain't a Christ man, wife, and the man ain't do your wife nothing, and the woman ain't do you nothing. The procedure, if he was a white man, an Englishman, educated in the British Convention of Government, once he reached to a level where he must apologize, you do the honorable thing, and if he was Haitian, he would allay. He would go.
No, Mr. Monka, that will come 2 weeks later.
Listen to me, he must go now.
He'll find a way to get rid of him.
He must go now with the big fat self.
Give a break.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's not nice.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, don't do that.
Monka, that's wrong.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's a sin?
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah.
Lord,
that's wrong.
Lord, forgive me.
And the caller
calling the spirit, the
Speaker of the House.
The Speaker, big fat.
Yeah, and the caller has a point. He's apologized.
What apology?
If a man apologized, now what else do you want?
Huh?
He's
I want to resign.
Mr. Monka.
Listen.
Mr. Monka.
Yes.
Decency and order.
Well.
He apologized.
Yeah, he apologized.
No, sir. You know how that man is? That man.
He was out of order.
Listen to me. Then he must resign.
Later on, not now.
Hang up on this man. How dare you support the corruption?
Nice.
My spiritual advisor, it's a corruption of the system.
But the man apologized.
Then he must now do the honorable thing. He must resign.
But there's 26 who vote from this day.
Listen to me. They are just as politically
but that's where the power is. You see? The power now has been transferred in the vote.
My spiritual
the vote
advisor,
is for him this day. He's apologized.
My spiritual advisor.
Now what happens next?
If the Speaker was a white man living in England and a member of the Parliament, educated in the Westminster system, there is an honor system. I want these black people to learn the system. All right? You're playing Speaker. When you corrupt this office, you carry your Johnny bundle. Go, Mr. Speaker. You pa boom. You're nothing but a picky teeth, Toby. You're nothing but a frying pan.
You're crossing the line.
Hello, welcome to Freedom
You're
Match.
crossing the line.
You stop covering up.
No, I'm not covering up.
All right? The Speaker's wrong.
The man apologized.
Hubert Ingram, all he did. Yes, ma'am.
Spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Absolutely.
When you go to court,
yes,
people to court say, "I'm sorry for doing such a thing."
Yes,
and they have to. They still go to jail and pay a fine.
Yeah.
Have a blessed afternoon.
Do well, my love.
Yeah.
The woman, them.
Yeah.
Lord, I thank you that all around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the educated woman is joining the grassroots woman in supporting my leadership. The Speaker must go. He must go. How dare you set that kind of example? You see, Travis General, he calls. You see me discriminate against him? He say his name is Precious. A whole man call, saying name Precious. So I say, Precious, what's on your mind? I listen to him. because he was made in the image of God.
Yes, okay.
And we should treat him with dignity.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Every human being deserves to be treated with dignity.
You use disparaging remarks. And I want the speaker to know that the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram does not think that what you did is a joke. He was very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. I ain't tell you all the things Papa say. And the reason why I ain't tell you, because y'all only can hate him. And I have a duty to not allow y'all to hate him. But he told me all kind of things. And he told me, keep apologizing to Philip Brave Davis' wife, because it was despicable what you did with your ugly self.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Monka. You know, as it relates to the House proceedings and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
The Speaker admits by apology that he has overstepped, right? And he apologizes. Now, if your brother sins against you, and he comes, and if he repents, the Christian thing to do is to forgive him.
If who?
If
who sinned?
If your brother sins. And in this context, we have...
If who?
If your brother sins. And in this context, we have all of those people who participate in the House proceedings. All of them are parliamentarians, right? They share the same power, basically. And so here it is in the House. We have somebody who made a mistake, has now come publicly and said, listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. What is next? What do you want to do?
My spiritual advisor...
After man apologizes, oh Lord.
I want you to understand how the white people set up the system. Don't believe me?
Okay.
I'm a descendant from the plantation.
So no satisfaction until he resigns.
I want you to listen to how the system operates. In a parliamentary democracy, pattern after that of Great Britain, you are educated to understand it is an honor system. The Speaker turned crazy. He acted as if he was a picky teeth man, Toby. He acted like he was a frying pan. What you doing cursing out Philip Brave Davis' wife? Why you want getting man divorce? Why you want subject a senator to a level of indignity? Why you want to do that? Huh? He almost cost Mother Miriam Tobacco.
So you're following the same line of the leader of the opposition, in that he, in his statement, says he's committed the unpardonable sin.
Yes.
No, but there's only one.
Politically.
Yes, but he can be forgiven, though.
Philip Brave Davis is sharing the same philosophy as Hubert Ingram. You don't stoop to that standard. Papa, I'm going to cast them out tomorrow and defend the prophetess Miriam. Papa said to protect her. I got to protect her.
This national review is interesting, though.
Philip Brave Davis, we can discuss that tomorrow. I'm going to protect.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.